Hi guys. So this is the hat we're gonna be making. And as you know, this hat took me forever to upload, but it is here. I don't know what happened. I feel like I just this winter tried to take me out, and as you can see, I'm still a little sick. Well, as you can probably hear. But here's the hat, and I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial.
All right, so what you will need is about 360 yards of yarn. This one is sugar and cream. And this one ball is about 120 yards. So three of these or whichever one you want to use. I chose this color because it's closest to the image. Um, you'll need some measuring tape, scissors, your size 6. Can you see that? Your size 6 circular needle and stitch marker. Assorted pearls. Um, you can get this from like Michael's, Walmart. I think I got this from Amazon. I will put the link below so you guys can go ahead and order this pack if you want to. You'll also be needing a spool of thread, whichever color you choose, and a sewing needle. While I clean up my space, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's a free way to support my channel. We're going to start off by casting on 100 stitches. And I do a long tail cast on. It's my favorite cast on method to use. So go ahead and cast on 100 stitches using whichever cast on method you are comfortable with. We're gonna meet back here once we have our 100 stitches casted on. All right, I have 100 stitches on my needle now, so I'm gonna go ahead and join in the round. Firstly, before you join your round, you want to make sure that all your stitches are straight across and that there's no twisting, because once you close it twisted, it's always going to be twisted. There is no fixing that without taking apart or unraveling your work. So I'm going to go ahead, put my stitch marker on and start my pattern. So it's a 5 by 5, which means we're going to do a knit 5 and 5, and then we're going to do a purl 5. So we have our knit 5 and our purl 5. And I'm going to go back and do knit 5 again. And then purl 5. And we're going to go ahead and alternate those two stitches, 5 by 5, for the entire row. So you're going to go ahead and finish your entire row doing knit 5, purl 5, and the last 5 stitches should be a purl 5. And we're going to meet back up at the end of this row. The end of our first row is done, and we're going to start row 2 doing the exact same thing. It's a knit 5, purl 5, the exact same thing all the way around. So here's the swatch that I made here. This is how our hat is gonna look. So we're gonna do 5 across, which is what we're doing now, but we're gonna do 7 rows. So we're gonna go ahead and finish that. We're gonna do exactly what we've been doing, which is the knit 5, purl 5 for 7 rows. One row 2, you're gonna finish your row 2, and then do 5 more rows of the same exact stitches. And we'll meet back here at the end of our row 7. All right, so my 7 rows are done of the first alternation of the pattern. I think I said that right. So we're gonna start with our knit and purl. So then you're gonna go ahead, knit 5, I'm sorry, purl 5, and then knit 5. So we're gonna do, and then we purl 5, and then we're gonna go ahead and knit 5. This is gonna create that nice basket weave look. And we're gonna go ahead and do that all across. So we're gonna purl 5 and then knit it. So go ahead and finish your row. This is row 8. Finish row 8. Row 8 should end on a knit stitch. And let's meet back up at the end of row 8. All right. This row is row 9. For rows 9 through 14, we're going to work this pattern, which is the purl 5 and knit 5. And you can already see your basket weave starting to take effect. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish row 14 with this same pattern, which would be the starting with the purl stitch, and then you're going to end with the knit stitch. And then from rows 14 through, rows 15 through 21, you're going to alternate back. You're going to start again with the knit. So it's going to be going upward, the same kind of pattern. It's a knit, and then this is going to be your purl section here, and then you're going to go ahead and start with the knit all over again. And then we're going to meet back here at the end of row 21 before we start row 22, just to make sure that we are all on the same page.
Okay, so here I'm showing you guys that I am done with row 21 and I finished on the purl stitches. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this row another do this set of rows another 3 times. So I'm gonna do 21 more rows and I'm gonna end on row 41. Once I get to row 41, we're gonna meet back up and just do a check-in to see that we are all on the same page.
So I have my 42 rows, but that, I think it's just like halfway through what I need right now. So we need for our hat to measure 10 inches straight flat without folding the brim, 10 inches before we can start our decrease rows. So we're going to keep going, keep alternating until you get to your 10 inches, and then we're going to come back to start our decreasing. I've reached my 10 inches now, so we're going to start our decrease. And we're going to knit 18 using our respective stitch. So if it's a purl, purl it. If it's a knit, knit it. And after that 18, we knit 2 together, which is 19 and 20. This pattern is worked over 20 stitches 5 times, so we will decrease 5 times. So for me, this row here is going to be the same as it's been because I've only done it 5 times and I need to do it 2 more times. So I'm going to knit. So I purl 5, 17, 18, and then we knit 2 together. And then we're going to start again. 17, 18, and then knit 2 together. 17, 18, knit 2 together. We only have one more knit 2 together on this row. 18, and then we knit the final 2 together. The next row we're gonna do the same thing, except we are doing 17 and then knit 2 together. So we're gonna do that again using our respective stitches, which is, if it's a purl, purl it; if it's a knit, knit it. 17, and then you knit 2 together. Okay. Do that until you reach the end of this row and meet back up with me. All right, so for this next row here, we're just gonna do a stitch 1 all the way around. So that's my son in the background. So what I mean by a stitch 1 is if it's a knit, you knit it, and if it's a purl, you purl it all the way around. We aren't doing any decreases for this row. Guys, please forgive my voice. I'm so sick right now. But and I really want to get this video out. Nico, please. Please. For the previous row, it was a stitch 1. So if it was a knit, you knit. If it was a purl, you purl it. It was time for me to change my pattern up for the next part of the basket weave. That's why these are knits. So what you want to do now is knit or stitch 8 and then stitch 2 together. So if it's a knit, you knit 2 together. If it's a purl, you purl 2 together. So we're going to go ahead and do that for this next row, and then I'll come back and meet you at the end. Okay, so I for the last row, I popped in and I showed you that we would do stitch 8 and then stitch 2 together. That row is done, so this row is going to be a stitch each stitch. So knit each knit and purl each purl. For this next row, we're gonna do we're going to stitch 7 and then stitch 2 together. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because these are purls, 6, 7, and then we're gonna go ahead and stitch these 2 together. Excuse me. And we're gonna continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this case, I have a purl and a knit next to each other. I'm gonna go ahead and just knit those two together, since the following stitches are knit stitches. Seven, and I'm gonna knit these next two together and just continue this pattern, and we will meet back up at the end of this row. This row is going to be knit 6 or stitch 6 and then stitch 2 together. And we're just going to continue that fashion. So after this, knit 6 and stitch 2 together, it's going to go 5, 4, 3 all the way until we get to 1. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 5, 6. So go ahead and continue that, and we'll meet up at the end of this row. We finished with our stitch 6, stitch 2 together. This row is going to be stitch 5, stitch 2 together, excuse me, and then we're going to do the stitch 4, stitch 2 together, stitch 3, stitch 2, stitch 1, and then we're going to meet back here once we've done the stitch 1, stitch 2 together. Some of you might need to transfer to double pointed needles to finish your hat. Go ahead and do that, and we'll meet back up here to close our hat and put on our pearls. I have reached the top of my hat, and I'm gonna go ahead and close it, but I figured I'd come back here and show how I closed it. Even though I've done this plenty of times on a lot of my videos, some people still like to see that process. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the tail. I'm sorry if I'm speaking low, guys. My throat is just, I don't know. And you're gonna go ahead and just catch your stitches off of your needles and pull your yarn through. This is cotton yarn, so it catches on itself. So you just pull that. I'm gonna tuck the tail inside so I can weave it in inside the hat. But you're gonna go ahead and pull. Just make sure it's closed right there at the top. And you can go ahead and like secure that. I'm just going inside a few stitches. Cut your tail. And at this point, a lot of you will probably want to have your hat just like this. Maybe the whole pearl thing is not for you, but for the purposes of this video, I will be showing you how to If you like your hat this way, you can go ahead and stop. If you have labels to add on, it'll probably look very nice with a nice leather or faux leather tag or a wooden label. So, if you stop here, I hope you enjoyed it. But for the rest of you guys that want to put the pearls on, gather your pearls, your thread, and your needle, and let's get started. So you're gonna get your thread, your sewing needle, and your hat, and you're gonna decide which size pearls you want to use. I have the 4-pack, which I also linked in this video, and I think I'm gonna use these two. If you reference the photo of ASAP, he has, I think it's about 2 or 3 different sizes. But, oh, look at this. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to use 2. I don't want to get too crazy. So just go ahead, thread your needle the way you know how. And if you are a sewer out there, you know you can go ahead and thread more than one needle just to have it ready. But for me, that just feels like a lot of work right now. So I'm just going to thread the one and keep threading it once my yarn runs low. And if you guys do not know how to thread needles, you can go ahead and look up a tutorial on that. So we're going to add pearls only on our knit row. Only going to do pearls here on the brim. You are free to purl your hat whichever way you see. He has different sizes within the same section, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and put this bigger size in here, and you can use whichever sewing method you would like, but I already love it. I'm gonna put a smaller one in here, and I'm not popping the yarn as I'm sewing these on. And I'm only going in with 2 passes or 3 at most. I really do like that. Let's put this one here. It'll be great if you have yarn the same color as your hat, but I don't. So I figured white was the next best thing because it could sort of blend in with the pearls. So I think I'm going to end up using about 3 or 4 different sizes and not just the 2 like I planned. Guys, I didn't think I would love it this much. We might have did something, y'all. So So I've done my first square. You go ahead and sew yours up the way you see fit, and we'll meet back here once we have all of our pearls sewn in the way we want them to be. All right, y'all, we are done. So this is how this hat looks. And guys, let me tell you something. I was so ready to be finished with this hat and give it away. But did you see the picture on the intro? I mean, I'm not giving this hat to anybody. I'm keeping my hat. As you can see, I only put like a row and a half because I just felt like once I tried it on, this was all I needed. But you do you, boo. So I hope you enjoyed this pattern. And if you do make it, let me see some pictures. Tag me on Instagram or I have TikTok. All that stuff is linked below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video.